Check, check, 1, 2. Are we live? You are now watching the J Capone podcast. We're going to get straight into it today. Michael made it just exposed French Montana for being the slimiest rapper and businessman he's ever dealt with.
There's no way why I shouldn't be making money off Unforgettable. Right. There's no way why I shouldn't be making money off Pop Dad on my first album or second. You know, we got so many hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hits speak for themselves. I haven't made $1 of Unforgettable, and it's almost double diamond.
No, that's wait.
Double diamond is $2 billion.
It's 20 million.
20 million.
Well,
20
20
million. That's 20 million is sold.
Right. No, that's just in the States. Around the world, probably like 84 or something like that.
Yeah. What you mean you ain't make $1? How much money they spent on the record?
That's what I'm saying. When you coming up as an artist, you're not really looking at that. Mm-hmm. You're just looking at,
looking at that upfront money.
Upfront money because you're trying to get your bag up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then once you figure out that you're making money in the back end, now you want the back end too. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of not fair. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really be mad at the labels because you're supposed to look at all that in the beginning. But now, it's on 100%, you know what I'm saying? And we just put our own money up. I mean, radio, what it cost? I mean,
$250.
$250. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you drop $250 into this.
Couple billboards.
Yeah.
French Montana for years has been explaining that he's never gotten paid for the song Unforgettable. Now, everybody knows the song Unforgettable. Like, we all know the song. If I'm French Montana, I'm getting my money for that song. I don't care what I gotta do, who I gotta sue, how long I need to go through the paperwork, none of that matters to me. I'm going to get my money for this song. It makes no sense to me how you're on the biggest song of your career, essentially, and you get paid for zero. But I'm glad that these rappers talk about the business so much. Like, hip hop is the gift that just keeps giving, because without this, we would have never known. We would have never known French Montana, a huge artist, because let's not act like French Montana is nobody. French Montana is somebody. A huge artist like that, the biggest song ever at that time, got $0 for it? How's that even possible? Could someone explain to me that? How you could do business and not be able to get paid? Like, how do you just, I don't know, bro. Sometimes these guys be so high and strung out in the studio that they're not able to get the business done. That makes complete zeros. Can somebody explain to it? It makes no sense to me. But this is where everything gets interesting, because Mike Will Made It went on a podcast to air out French Montana on why he'll never get paid for the song and is the worst rapper he's ever dealt with.
How'd that phone call go when Sway called you and told you gave away Unforgettable?
It wasn't even Sway calling me that and telling me that he gave away Unforgettable. It was really like me just seeing it on the internet leaked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, it really pissed me off, you know what I'm saying?
Did you know it was going to be a huge record?
Yeah, for sure. I knew it was a huge record with just only Sway Lee on there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as an executive, it's almost like, man, you just bought this new jewelry and you had it sitting over there, and then boom, you pull up and I'm outside with that shit on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was. Like, we weren't looking to get that song placed on anybody's album. We weren't looking to put any artist on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Only reason Jeremiah even had it because Jeremiah had delivered Throw Some More for Ray Shrimmer before they even took off.
Right.
So, man, when he delivered that joint, it was like, Sway was like, man, damn, bro, I got to do something else with Jeremiah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Unforgettable was supposed to be on Shrimp Life too.
I don't think French Montana is that bad, but I get where Mike Will Made It is coming from. If you're not a rapper or artist of any kind and you've never worked with a producer, they're very, very stingy people. I make music myself, but they're very stingy people, bro, with their beats, with their music. If like when you're in the studio with them, most of the time, especially if they're rappers themselves or singers themselves, they never offer you the greatest beats. They might bypass them. You might go through the pack yourself, just like gremlins. Just these little gremlins. That's how Mike Will Made It sounds like now. He sounds like a little gremlin in his little cave. I want all my beats. You can't have none of my beats. I don't want you on my beat. Like, just a child, bro. You could have made all the money in the world. The song probably could have been bigger if you would have put somebody else on it sooner. But French Montana had to weasel his way onto the song, and it blew up. Now look where it is.
Sway had did Black Beatles, and then boom, Jimmy was like, all right, boom, I get on that one. All right, boom. Now we done. You know what I'm saying? Then Sway was like, bro, what about this Unforgettable? I'm like, yeah, Jim, just get on the Unforgettable. Jim was like, man, bro, like I'm just tapped out. Like, bro, we'll get it. I'll get on there on the next album. So, they were already talking about doing solo project. It was talks about it.
Right.
So I was like, man, what's gonna work if Jim don't get on here, Sway? If Jim don't get on here, then we could use it for the first Sway Lee album. And so, boom, Swim Life 2 dropped, and like a week or two later, and then Black Beatles just started shooting up. You know what I'm saying? So Black Beatles was #1 on the Hot 100 for like, man, 8 weeks. And out of nowhere, Unforgettable just leaks on the internet.
Wow.
And I'm just like, hold on, what the like, you know what I'm saying? But people had told me that they had heard Bro's version. You know what I'm saying? I had already been familiar with French. We already had a relationship, and the fact that Bro ain't reach out to me and let me know, like, hey man, your little bro did this song right here. Man, I would love to get on it any kind of way. What are y'all planning to do with it? Or like, what are y'all planning not to do with it? Or like, are y'all sleeping on it or are y'all not? It was no conversation. It was just like, oh my God, this shit hot. Boom, I'm gonna put my verse on here and leak it. You feel me? And it's like, I felt like we had more respect for each other than that. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever talked?
What you mean?
Have you ever talked about it since then?
But this is the biggest and confusing part to me. Mike Will Made It is still mad, even though he gained notoriety, money, fame, status in the rap industry, but is still mad that French Montana is on the song. Like I told you, these guys, these producers are super duper stingy. His only gripe for real is that he wanted full ownership of the song. Now that part I can kind of get, that you want full ownership of the song and that French Montana being on the song and that Slim Jimmy, well, not even Slim Jimmy, Sway Lee made a huge mistake by not only allowing French on the song, because now most people don't understand this. Now when you let French on the song, you gotta let his label take a piece, because French is not just a free artist. He signed under a label, especially at that time, as he probably is now. Whereas Sway Lee and Ray Shrimmer is signed to Mike Will. And Mike Will might have had his own independent thing at the time. So I could get why you mad, because you probably could have made way more money off of the song. Maybe because the way that you moving, you probably wouldn't have had French Montana on the song. And the song probably, I'm not saying that French Montana made the song. The song obviously is made by the hook. But let's not act like the timing, the moment wasn't perfect. Even though I still think the song could have came out today, would it have been diamond today? Maybe not. Maybe not. It still probably would have been a great song, but maybe not diamond today.
Not really.
Why you say it didn't work out for you?
Nah, it worked out for Sony because they own the master. I'm a businessman. I'm an executive. You know what I'm saying? So that was supposed to be one of
Under your catalog.
Eardrummers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We could have put French on there, and we could have let that be with Eardrummers and Interscope, like how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up going through Epic. You know what I'm saying? That had nothing to do with this record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, if I rock his jewelry and we just downstairs, he paid for it. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? This his jewelry. He got it laid out. He know how he want to shoot outside and everything. And I'm just already outside rocking his shit. And then it's like, this interview goes viral. It's like, hey, Clue, it worked out though, bro. You know what I'm saying? It worked out, brother. The interview was viral.
That's a great example. But Mike, most people would look at it like, yo, the song is a big record. You made a lot of money on it. Your name is ringing bells.
My name was already ringing bells.
I mean, it's stronger. It's bigger now.
Nah, cause I didn't like.
He ain't hearing that at all.
Yeah, it's not
You said you
about
a
that.
businessman.
It's just, yeah, I'm a businessman and I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? So out of respect, you know what I'm saying? It's respect first. Out of respect, we already know each other, so you can have that conversation with me if you're gonna do it. You know
But
what
if
I'm
I
saying?
don't look at it that way, Mike? What if I'm just excited and didn't think about it and just made an abrupt decision and know you didn't like it, but I might have up, but I'm like, yo, this record is fire. I want to get this out.
How about this? What if French thinks you might say no? I'm not saying you that style of nigga. Definitely thought that. I would
And you just said it 10 minutes
Mark,
ago, that's a hot record.
So if that's the case, if French thought I might say no and he did that, then that means he stole.
I feel like Mike Will made it definitely, especially if you already had a relationship, could have patched it up with French Montana without airing it out. And if you still feel a certain type of way, I'm just confused why. Like, I get it. You didn't make the money off the song. If you just dislike that producer, go make another hit. Go make another 2, 5, 15 of them. You know, not saying that these songs aren't a dime a dozen and the moment wasn't, you know, perfect for you. But if you making it seem like, I don't know, bro. I feel like he could definitely go make another song as big, if not bigger. You know what I mean?
You made money off of it, so he can't steal it if you made money.
It ain't about money. Everything.
See,
ain't about,
see,
everything
this is
ain't
why.
about money.
That's why I asked you.
I ain't gonna. I'm the same way.
I'm gonna make money off of it when it come
Got
out.
you, Mike.
When it come out on Sway Lee album, I'm gonna make money off of it. That's why Black Beatles was #1 on the Hot 100 for 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? We was already making money on their first album. We had five successful singles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Their
that's a
first
fact.
album went platinum. They ain't dropped no mixtape or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we was already doing it. You feel me? So it's like back to the jewelry. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if I'm like, man, Clue ain't gonna let me rock this shit, man, put it on. He walk up, cameras is already on. I'm already talking in the camera and everything. He looking like, bro, what the f? How the f you get my jewelry, bro? Like, man, I thought you were gonna say no, bro. But hey, look, the interview look good. It's sunny outside. The outfit look good, bro, and you look good too, bro. You ain't even need the jewels, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
I get it.
you feel me? Like, it's just principle, bro. Like, at the end of the day, like, man, we can make so many songs, bro. We can make so many hits. Like, we actually do this shit. Like, when it comes to that music shit, we actually do this shit. I introduced French to Sway Lee. You feel me? Like, back when they was on the come up, when I had them come out there and write on Post Project, you know what I'm saying? And boom, I introduced French to Sway Lee. Man, they could have gotten in the studio. If he heard that song, he liked it, he could have called Sway Lee to the studio and said, hey, bro, you know what? Hey, Sway Lee, man, I want to do a song with you, bro. I really like this song. Can I use this song? Are you going to use it for your album? Well, out of respect, I'm not going to get on this song, da-da-da. Let's do some more shit. Let's do 10 other songs and let's see if we can do something hotter than that.
But y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about the whole situation. Is Mike Will made it tripping, man? Is he doing too much? Should he have just called French Montana? Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about the entire situation. The Breakfast Club just got exposed by Tasha K for selling out to Netflix.
So I'm getting ready to do my interview, and you know, they had all the iHeart employees in there, and they looked over at me and they said, Tasha. And I said, huh? They said, how you know about that Breakfast Club deal? I said, what you talking about? They said, you been on point. Now I know where I'm at. I'm at their employers' headquarters. So I said, well, what part you talking about? Can you hear me? Everything okay, Jasmine? You can hear the back. Okay, calm. Okay, I got on this velour in the springtime. Velour. Shout out to Melissa Lopez. So here's the thing. So y'all should be able to hear me now, clearly. So I said, well, what you talking about? They said, well, you know that we know what happened. I said, so what happened? They said, and I'm going to say allegedly, according to them, I'm not going to leak my source, but I was inside of iHeart. The pictures, I have the pictures. I was there for a few hours, okay? And so they basically said, you were right, Tasha, when you said that iHeart did not renew their contracts. I said, well, tell me more, even though I already knew that from some Black Effect podcasts because people that Charlamagne got signed, you know what I'm saying? And so I already knew that. I said, but tell me more. Because, you know, he put out a whole press release calling me a liar. He said the whole reason for the Netflix deal was because iHeart refused to allocate money towards their show.
Now, this isn't even the worst part. Tasha K is also claiming the reason that the Breakfast Club went to Netflix is because iHeartRadio wouldn't pay the bill for them. Now, I didn't understand why iHeart wouldn't even pay the bill for them. You know, the Breakfast Club might be the biggest show that they have. I personally, can you take a second, name another radio station at iHeart? And it's probably a plethora of them, but I'm pretty sure you couldn't name one. Now, creators like Flacco will tell you the reason that The Breakfast Club went to Netflix is because iHeartRadio, couldn't afford them anymore. Personally, I don't think they couldn't afford him. I don't think that iHeartRadio let them go because they couldn't afford them. We're moving into this digital age of streaming and YouTube, where the BET Hip Hop Awards have essentially closed because they're no longer on television anymore. And 9 times out of 10 are going to be moving to Netflix or Paramount. Or if they want to do their own thing, they'll move to Kick or Twitch and get a huge bag there. But if you want me to sit right here and let you tell me that the reason iHeartRadio did not re-sign the Breakfast Club is because they couldn't afford $500 million for a radio show, you're out of your mind. They probably not even worth 300 million. If you do the numbers on YouTube, because it's easy numbers, they get paid per 1,000. And the average watch time is how much you get paid per that 1,000. So you guys can do the math. If they are supposedly worth $500 million and they are raking in, and I looked this up earlier, approximately 27, this was before the Netflix deal, 27 million views a month averaging. And they do about 2 hours. Let's say people watch half that. So they're getting about $60 per 1,000 views. That's not even 200 million. Now it's not even 100 million. For them to be getting 500 million makes 0 sense.
I said, all this money they got up in here, they couldn't find a couple dollars. They said no. So this whole bid that they did with Netflix, and when you go to Netflix, you got to search for them. You got to go down like this. You got to type it in. By the time you get there, you uninterested. You done found something else you want to watch. You know what I'm saying? They behind all other podcasts. Like I said, it was only 5 podcasts that went from iHeart to Netflix as a part of their all-inclusive deal, which means they don't even have say-so. And I know this for a fact. They don't even have say-so on the guests that sit on their platform. Before they could gatekeep and say, oh, you get to sit with me, I get to sit with you, they have to get written permission from Netflix to invite anybody to their show right now. Whereas before, they could say, hey, come sit down. And that's why you didn't see a lot of people that you probably wanted to see on that platform. A, they didn't want to talk to them, and they didn't want them like that. Or 2, they was gatekeeping because at the time, they had the hottest platform out here.
So personally, I feel like they made the wrong move. The Breakfast Club made the wrong move. They made the wrong move because now you lose creative control. If you go and look at their YouTube, just go and scroll on their YouTube channel, bro. They're not getting any views from the clips that they post. They only could post 3 to 5 minute clips. If you go to Netflix, you can't find them anywhere. There isn't a podcast section. You have to scroll all the way to the bottom and maybe find them, or physically type in their name. Netflix is for movies and television shows. So the first thing you're going to see is movies and TV shows. They're not going to be pushing The Breakfast Club as the first thing that you need to watch when you come to Netflix. Then you can't even comment on the videos. So now they lose the whole interaction and connection with their audience.
iHeart wouldn't allocate funds to them, which means they didn't extend the contract. Now they have license rights to the audio of the show, but they have literally given Netflix full control over this entire concept. They don't even have control over their concept because we told you last week, 2 weeks ago, that Jess Hilarious doesn't even have the IP rights to her Just With The Mess. The thing that got her on. She can't even post that on her Instagram without their permission. She just signed over her little rights per Charlemagne because iHeart, from what I'm being told, okay, by iHeart executives, that they didn't want to pay him. And so in order to appease him, they said, well, Netflix approached us, you can go over here. And that's why at the end of every video that they got, they be like, go to Netflix. You watch Netflix. You always on Netflix. Download Netflix now. Go and watch The Breakfast Club. And it's usually some white woman that got sent down with glasses on that's speaking on flowers and shit that y'all don't know nothing about. But it's The Breakfast Club, remember? Maybe they're going to have the Chick-fil-A owner up on there next time, to kind of go away with the brand. But they don't have no rights. And so next time y'all want to try to come for my brand, you can't say nothing now because Netflix don't even allow y'all to comment unless they tell y'all to comment. So they can't say nothing. Jasmine, ain't no clap back in that Tasha K. Ain't no more calling me no crackhead. Sweaty here.
But crackhead, ain't no more calling that. You can't even call your own show Just Hilarious. You can't even say Just with the Mess without written permission from your bosses that have no experience in the podcast industry.
It was the worst move ever for money. Let's say they did get the 500 million. Now you lose status in the culture. Now creators like myself, Flocko, DJ Academics, No Jumper, Joe Budden will continue to rise. So I don't know. It's a great move for me, but I think it's a horrible move for the Breakfast Club and what they have to add to the culture. But y'all let me know in the comments, man, how y'all feel about the entire situation. Did the Breakfast Club sell out, or was this a perfect move for everybody? Y'all let me know. DJ Academics is clearing the internet streets after Lamona waves the white flag and the new host of Hot 97 goes crazy.
Me defending myself is controversial, right? I seen the bum on Hot 97. He's like, yo, people like Act should be bullied. Nobody had a problem with that. But if I respond, yo, Act, why are you doing that? So you get to realize when people don't like you, the only thing you could do is drop down and die. This woman here, in the midst of having 5 strokes back to back, it was like a rolling stroke. I don't know what was going on. For 6 years, I didn't know who she was. Have no idea who she was. She sat on her podcast or other people's podcasts, and anytime my name was mentioned, she chose to unleash. She never knew me. She never talked to me. I never addressed her. She would call me all sort of names. She would wish harm on me. She would hope people would do something to me. She would speak with a manner of hoping I died.
So for a while, Lamona and every other media personality has called out DJ Academics on his antics of the war in Chirac and everything he does, just how he just goes about talking about people and artists and their situations and their money and this, that, and the third. She's always gone on DJ Academics for a minute. And even since she's gone up in status and moved to the Joe Budden network, she still seems to find a way and a reason to always talk about DJ Academics. Now, it didn't get better from this point. Act genuinely has it in his mind that people only use his name to get likes and clicks. Now, even though I do think it's some type of truth to that, at the same time, you can't say that the criticism isn't warranted. And that's for anybody. Like, I can't be confused when someone wants to comment mean things or upsetting things. Like, no one's going to have the same views as me, you know? And sometimes you do go a little crazy, Academics. So the fact that you're sometimes confused that people talk at you a certain type of way or talk about you a certain type of way, it's like the same thing you tell these rappers, bro. It's bound to happen. And I feel like that's okay. You're going to get talked about in this space.
But bunch of failing rappers, bottom feeders, that when they were dropping an album and they need to galvanize some type of attention, they would do the, okay, what's the last ditch? Let's diss Academics. They've seen many examples. They've seen, you know, I think if anyone looks at Vic Mensa and says, you know, man, we said afterwards, we have no problem. But if you went down the top 3 viral moments of his career, it was an interaction with me and him. If you know, they always post a Nipsey Hussle clip. There's something about when you say something about Academics, it galvanizes all the people I've offended, all my haters, and they rally behind it. We've just seen it. I proved it in real time with Mano. Mano, when me and him was going back and forth, when he was posting on Instagram, 4,000, 5,000 comments, everybody gassing him up. Yes, yeah, yo, you got to run into that nigga. His engagement, I was shocked by. I was like, oh my God, this guy is hot. We go on Mano's page. Nobody's talking about him anymore, other than when he's getting that 50. Like we showed, like the regular posts, nobody's talking about him, right?
But Academics had it in his mind that when Lamona got signed to the Joe Budden network, that the criticism and the critiques would start to slow down. I don't know why he thought that. She got a bigger platform. She got a bigger check. She feels like she has greater status in the platform. She's on one of the biggest podcast hip hop networks of today. Why would she slow down? She feel like she's the shit. She feel like she that B. You feel me? She's gonna shit on you. So it's like sometimes it don't connect with me. And It's obviously not connecting in their brain. You know, why would you think she would slow down? Why would you? Just because you're cool with Joe Budden? Joe be letting his co-hosts almost do whatever up there sometimes, man. They getting a huge bag up there, man. I already calculated. They getting about 300,000 an episode. Well, a month for the podcast. He drops about 6 to 7 podcasts. Joe got to be raking a cool 3 to 500,000 just off episodes a month. We're not even calculating the shorts and the long form clips and everything. It's like, bro, she's not gonna slow down on you. She just got a big bag, bruh. I would go up on you too. I feel like I'm the shit. Hey, I'm beefing with you. After Act responded to her though, in many different ways, calling out her seizures, calling her a crackhead, all types of names. Lamona waved the white flag though, saying that her being a woman is the reason she shouldn't be going back and forth with academics. Now, that shouldn't really matter. It goes back to just anything, bro. A woman should not be putting her hands on a woman. And for a long time, Lamona was calling out academics on the different things that he was doing. Not saying that she wasn't warranted for calling out certain things that he was doing.
In her own words.
Shit has to have a line. And there's really not no line on it. There's a video out right now of academics saying, that's why she had a seizure, the bitch on her 5th stroke. At one point he go, yeah, I seen that video of her talking about, oh, that's fucked up, you talking about my stroke. No, bitch, I talk about kids, I talk about everything. I ain't never laying off you to that. I never said that. What I said is when you say, you had a stroke, you almost died, or this your 5th stroke or whatever, it takes the fun out of it, where it's like nothing to come back on, like it's just kind of corny. That's what I said. At the end of the day, it's not.
No, you just lost.
Like super, super shocking. You know, the thing about being super famous is people get to watch the evolution of you from all the way back to, because I didn't know the Chirac stuff. I had to hear about that. But what's the show him and Joey was on?
It was on Complex.
The Complex show they had, Everyday Struggle. The viral clip with Erykah Badu where she calls him Tom and Jerry. It was funny. It was lighthearted. You know what I mean? And then it's Erykah Badu. Like, niggas love Erykah Badu.
Yeah, and then he went out his way. Yeah,
and then
I forgot about that.
10, 15 years later, he go on her. She a whore. I know all the niggas you fuck.
It's just that if you gonna call smoke to the fire, don't be ashamed when you get hot, man. Don't be scared when you get hot now. Don't be scared when you start flaming up now. You call for the fire. That's like Drake. When Drake was calling for Kendrick Lamar and didn't expect that boy to drop 30 minutes after him. Oh, you ain't know he was listening. Oh, you ain't know he was ready. Oh, you didn't know I was prepared. You ain't know I had that super uppercut coming from from nowhere, huh? And that's what people be like. That's what really be worrying people and get people messed up. You don't plan. You didn't plan for academics to respond, and that's your problem. But it couldn't get any worse for DJ Academics because he found himself in another beef with the new Hot 97 host, Mero.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this one time and one time only because, like I said, I'm a father of 4 biological sons and daughters. But there's a lot of sons out there that are not mine. You know what I'm saying? I don't claim you. You're not on my taxes. You're not a dependent, bro. But you depend on me to survive. Because if you don't say my name out your stupid fat mouth, you got no motion.
Now, the internet is frying Mero because his points just don't stand. Him saying that academics isn't culturally relevant to hip hop, it just, have you been living under a rock, sir? You just got a job at Hot 97 when radio stations are dying. When The Breakfast Club, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, black, I feel like it's 3 black radio stations that are really like the biggest right now. You got 102.3 Magic. That's the old people station. I feel like it's going to last forever. You got the Steve Harvey Show because they always pranking people. And then you got the Breakfast Club. And then you got Hot 97 too and all that other good. Bro, how long you think you got at Hot 97? How long you think you got?
Make nothing. You don't do nothing. You don't add nothing. You are net negative to hip hop culture. You are net negative to society, gang. You know what's the saddest thing in the world? Sitting in your mother's basement, getting drunk off alcohol that she probably bought at Costco and talking crazy about any and anybody who matters more than you. And I know what burns you up inside, champ. I know what that thorn in your side ever since I made you cry live on stream years ago, and you can't let it go. What burns you up inside, my brother, is this. You talk about views, you talk about numbers, you talk about all this other type of stuff, data, stuff that you analytical bozo nerds love to just throw up in the air whenever people say, that's whack. That's not culturally relevant. Guess what, fam? Everything I've ever done in my entire career has been culturally relevant. You understand what I'm saying? I'm up here high 97 because you know what we do up here? We move culture. We make culture up here. We make culture. We don't just talk about it. All right, fam? And that's what you do. You a gossiper. You know what I'm saying? You a page 6 in the flesh. You a diabetic page out of the New York Post. You fat hamster. And then people want to get on it, social media, and ask me, yo, but is he lying? Yes, he is. Because let me tell you one thing, champ. You wish you could be me. That's what burns you up inside. You wish you could be us. Us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for Mia Bell. I'm speaking for Kaz. I'm speaking for Shiny Culture because you know what?
Now, Mero is obviously stuck in the past here, thinking that the corporate way of media today is the way to go. Not saying that there isn't huge bags, because they have cultivated huge bags over the decades that they've been working, but at the same time, it's a new day and age. That's why they're moving to YouTube. That's why your radio station that you say is so culturally relevant is on YouTube, getting the same views as me. You're in the same ballpark as me, and I just started. You've probably been doing this for God knows how long, and you haven't started your own YouTube channel and doing the same thing that you get paid to do at Hot 97. Let's say they're giving you $10,000 a show.
When I sit down and talk to somebody, it's Denzel Washington. It's Barack Obama.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It's Matt Damon. You know what I'm saying? It's the names that mean something in the culture of entertainment. When you sit down with a diabetic Tekashi and a guy called Whack 100 and a guy who hangs out in project courtyards yelling at windows. That's who you sit down with, champ. That's not what we do out here. Okay? You see a Mia Bell interview, you know it's popping. You know who she sit down with. You see Kaz interviewing somebody, bro, they probably in the Hall of Fame. You see Shani interviewing somebody, man, that's somebody that's tearing it up worldwide. You understand what I'm saying? You see Kaz One, he's in Tokyo. He's in Tokyo. You in your basement in Long Island. Maybe. Or maybe in Jersey, because nobody knows where you are. We need drones. Mossad can't find you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want no smoke with nobody, especially me, fam, because let me tell you something right now. If it wasn't for them strip club bouncers that form a force field around you, you'd be food. You a 20-piece chicken nugget with sweet and sour sauce. All right? And let me tell you something. The last thing I'll say about you is that you a one-trick pony. You know how to do one thing, and that's exploit poverty, misery, and violence for your own monetary gain. And not all money is good money, but I'm good, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my koi fish. Shout out to Crunchy Black. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Derek G.
You think that's more than what DJ Academics is doing? He has 1 million views, 1 million subs on his YouTube channel, and all he does is sit there and stream. He doesn't even rent a space anymore. So it's like your mind is so clouded, and these guys live in so tight-knit bubbles that they can't even step outside to understand that it's a whole nother world going on. They can't even see it. They can't even see it. But y'all let me know how y'all feel. Leave it all in the comments. I think this is episode 14 of the JKP podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I want to say I appreciate everybody for liking the videos. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.